So a while back I did a video on how to add RGB stars into your narrowband data, and that video talked about how you actually imaged in broadband just so you can get the data for the stars to add into your narrowband data. In this video I'm going to show you a shortcut using a Python script that will allow you to add RGB stars created from your narrowband data. And it's not just for the mono imagers. There's an option in there for one-shot color people that are using dual narrowband filters as well. So let's check it out. My name is Rich and you're watching Deep Space Astro. Alright, so as always, we start with installing the scripts. So I'll come up into Scripts, Get Scripts, and then in this, you can either scroll through the list here or the search box. You can type MB, and the script should pop right up for you. So MB2 RGB is what we're looking for. Select it over on the right, and then click Apply. At that point, the script is installed, and if you come up into Scripts, Python Scripts, Processing, Narrowband to RGB script is right there. Go ahead and run it. And here, let's just talk about the interface and how to use this first, and then we'll go through everything. At a minimum, you need your HA and O3 images to create your RGB stars. S2 can also be included, but it is optional as you see here. And then there's also an option for those of you who are using a one-shot color camera behind a narrowband filter, such as like the L Extreme or SV Bony SV220, and we'll cover the one-shot color stuff as well. We're going to go through the mono composition stuff first. Once we load our images in, you can see we have some options down here to play with. Again, we'll cover them. What I want to show you first is, as it states up here in the directions, that the images must be pre-aligned on the stars before processing. What that means is if you just bring in your star images without first aligning them, you're going to have kind of like a double, triple vision thing going on here. Just to show you what's going to happen if you don't pre-align your images, I have 3 images that I have not aligned yet right here. So that's my HA, and then I'm going to load my O3, and then I'll bring in my S2 as well. And like I said, I did not pre-align these to the stars before doing so. So if I hit Preview Combined Image, this is what I'm talking about. You have 3 different versions of the stars, none of which are lined up together. So just want to show you that piece before we get started. So how do you align them? If you're not aware already, it's using the RGB compositing tool. So if I come up into Image Processing, Composition, and RGB compositing, and just load in sulfur for red, HA for green, and O3 for blue. And if I change my display mode to auto stretch so we can see what's going on, you can see the stars, again, they're not aligned, right? The same view that we just saw in the script. So to correct for that, you just come down and hit the align button, and it'll automatically align all 3 images together. We'll also do a linear match here, which matches our green and blue channel with our red channel up top because it's the first one loaded. And then I'll just move this out of the way. I am going to crop my image as we always would. I'm going to crop while the image composition tool is still open. So I'm going to right click, crop, and instead of hitting crop, I'm going to say crop sequence. Crop sequence works because I have the compositing tool open still. So it just went through all 3 of these images and applied the same crop to each of them. But to be able to use those cropped images, I need to click Save All. And if I come over into my working directory, you can see it created 3 new images for me prefixed with comp. So all 3 of these have the same exact crop applied to them. So now I can close our compositing tool. I'm not going to go through a full processing workflow for this, just enough to give us something so I can show you guys start to finish not only how to create the RGB stars, but how to bring them back into your narrowband starless data at the end. So crops already applied, very important. We don't want to do any more cropping after these next steps. If you end up cropping your starless or your star mask images after this, you won't be able to recombine them at the end. So no more cropping from this point forward. I am just going to do a quick background extraction using the auto BGE script. Because I'm going for that SHO look where I've got more golds and blues going on in the image, I'm just going to do a manual color calibration. So image processing, color calibration, and then color calibration. Find an area on my background, use that selection there, and then we'll just grab something with a lot of contrast down here for the white reference, and then apply. And that looks good, right? For the purpose of the video, that's what we're going to run with. I'm not going to do any more processing on this besides a quick stretch here in a few minutes. So I'm going to come up and click our Save As button, and we'll just call this lot 15. Save it as a 32-bit fit. And this will be the image that we're actually going to be working with. So, and this is the issue, right? When you're working with narrowband, once I color calibrated for the palette that I'm looking for, the stars turn magenta, right? We don't want magenta stars. So I'm going to remove the stars from this image. So image processing, and then StarNet star removal. I am going to untick generate star mask because I don't need these stars. We're going to be replacing them with our RGB stars that we use the script for, and click execute. Okay, so stars have been removed. I'm just going to come out of the auto stretch view, go back into linear. I'm just going to do a quick stretch with this. Again, we're not doing a full workflow. So we're going to use scripts, Python scripts, processing, and statistical stretch, just as a quick way to give us something to work with later on in the video. Close, and then we want to make sure we hit our save button. All right, so that's our star list. A lot more processing needs to be done on it, but for the purposes of this video, like I said, I'm going to leave it as it is. It'll be enough for us to recomposite the stars back in at the end of the video. So our next step is we're going to open up each one of our comp files, right? These are the 3 images that were created in the RGB compositing tool when we save those out after our initial crop. So we'll just drag each of these in one at a time, and we can come into auto stretch just so we can see what things look like. So this is my sulfur data. I'm simply just going to remove the stars from it. Okay, stars have been removed from the sulfur data, and we just do the same thing with the other 2. So I'm going to remove the stars from AHA, and then the same thing for oxygen. We'll just remove the stars from that stack. All right, so with the stars removed from S, H, and O, we come back to our working directory. You can see we have our star lists and star masks for each of those. And actually, we don't need the star list, so just to keep things clean, you don't need to do this, but we can actually just delete our 3 star list images. Again, just to keep things clean. Those are the 3 files we're going to be working with now with the script. So back over to Siril, if I come up into scripts, Python scripts, processing, NB to RGB to run our script again. So there's a button for each 3 of the star masks that we just created. Again, sulfur is optional if you don't want to use it, or maybe you don't have it because you didn't shoot sulfur, you just shot HA and O3 that night. It's up to you, but you at least need HA and O3. So we'll click the HA image button, select our HA star mask. Same thing for the O3. We'll select our O3 mask, and then we'll bring in our sulfur mask as well. Once you have all 3 images loaded, just hit preview combined image. You have your zoom in and zoom out buttons up here, fit to preview. There's our RGB image stretched for us because our enable star stretch option is selected. You also have an HA to O3 ratio slider, so if you want to go more on the HA side, you can move it towards the left. Hit preview combined image again. We got a little bit more red in there now. If you want to go more towards the O3 side, go to the right. Again, preview combined image when you make a change, and you can see it's more on the blue side now. Our stars are turning yellow. The 0.3 I think works relatively well. It's probably going to give you a more accurate representation of RGB, the true colors of the stars, but it's there for you to adjust if you feel that you need to. Our stretch factor is defaulted at 5. If you want less of a stretch, bring it down, hit preview combined image. If you want more of a stretch, then obviously go the opposite direction. Again, preview combined image, and you'll get a real-time preview of what is happening within your image with that stretch factor. Again, I tend to leave it at 0.5 if I even decide to leave the enable star stretch enabled. So we'll put that back to 0.5. We'll hit our preview button again, and I'm going to save off 2 copies of this. One stretched, and then we'll come back and we're going to do one that is left in the linear state. So once you have your settings and you're happy with what it looks like in the preview, hit send preview to Siril. It now opens it up into Siril. It looks horrible because we're still in an auto stretch view, so we'll put this back into linear. And that is our final stretched RGB stars image. So you can see it gives it a name RGB. You still need to save it though. It has not been saved, so we'll hit the save current image button. And I'm going to call this one RGB_stretch. 32-bit fit, and that one's ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to do 2 copies because I want to show you a couple different ways of doing this. So we're going to come back over into the script, and I'm going to unselect Enable Star Stretch, click the preview button again. Now we have a linear copy of the stars. We'll send that over to Siril, and then again hit our Save button, and we'll just call this one RGB underscore linear. Again, 32-bit fits. And now we're ready to bring the stars back in, right? Just like always, we'll come up to image processing, star processing, and then star recomposition. And then on the left-hand side, we will open up our starless image. And on the right-hand side, we'll bring in our RGB linear. This is the one that we did not stretch with the script. And this is the way we're used to generally working with StarNet, right? We remove the stars and then we stretch them back into our final composite like that. So just like you're familiar with, we would stretch our stars over here on the right-hand side, bring them into our liking, click apply, and then you would be done. So now if I wanted to bring in the stretch version of the stars, let's reset our view over here and select our RGB stretched file that we created. Now it'll bring the stars in already stretched. And we could be good with that. If we played around in the script with the stretch factor to the point where we were happy with the stars, when you come into the star recomposition, all you have to do is load it. You don't need to mess with any of the settings unless you wanted to, right? Maybe you decide you wanted to stretch them a little bit more. Well, then you could bump them up a little bit more. Or maybe you realize you stretch them too much and you want to tame them down a little bit. You could do that as well. Hit your advanced button and then change your modified arc sign to either inverse modified arc sign, or you could even use the inverse generalized hyperbolic transform. We'll do the inverse modified. And now when we stretch, if you watch the graph here, it's going to stretch it in the opposite direction. So it's going to pull those stars down for us. So if you stretch them too much and you want to tame them down just a little bit in your final composition, you can do that as well. Okay, so now let's take a look at using the script using stars extracted from a one-shot color camera. So what I have on my screen here is the Crescent Nebula shot with my color camera using the Optolong L Extreme dual narrowband filters, so HA and O3. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the mono example, just some quick processing so we have something to work with. I've already cropped the image. I'm gonna do a quick background extraction just to knock out those gradients for us. And since this is a color image, at this point, we will go ahead and plate solve it so we can do color calibration against it in narrowband mode. And the L Extreme, I believe, is 7 nanometers, so we'll just set that. All right, and then just extract the stars like we always would. So up in image processing again, star processing, and the star removal for StarNet. Hit execute. All right, and we'll go back into a linear view, and once again, just do a statistical stretch. So we have something to work with at the end. Give it a quick save. And now we're ready to run the script again. So scripts, Python scripts, processing, NB to RGB. And this time, all you need to do is load in the star mass. So click your OSC stars image. And right here is the star mass that we just extracted from the Crescent Nebula. So we're going to open that up and just hit preview combined image. We'll do a fit to preview. Now you've got RGB. So generally with the dual narrowband filters, my experience, the L Extreme and L Enhance, there's many of them out there. The stars don't look horrible, but they don't have a lot of color to them. Some of the more brighter stars may have some color, but mostly they kind of come across as generally just white. But you can see with the script, we have more colors in our stars now. And just like with the mono data, we can adjust our HA to O3 ratio if we want, to get a little bit more red or a little bit more blue. It's up to you. Just play with it back and forth. Again, generally the default 0.30 works rather well, I think. Same thing, you can do it stretched or without the stretch like I showed in the previous example, as well as increase or decrease your stretch factor. Once you have what you like, again, send to preview. We can close the script. We have to save our RGB stars image, so we'll hit our save button up here. We'll just leave this one at RGB, 32-bit fit. And now we're ready to put the stars back into our starless. So image processing, star recomposition. And we're going to open up our starless, which is right here. And then we'll bring on our new RGB stars. because we save them stretched, we don't need to do any more stretching with it. We can be happy with it. Or like I mentioned before, you can increase your stretch factor. Or if you decided you wanted to bring down that initial stretch, you can do an inverse modified and it'll tamper the stars down for you that way. I'm going to leave it at the default. I think that looks good. Hit close. And there we go. There's our final composition. RGB stars created from the stars that were shot through a dual narrowband filter on a one-shot color camera. So another really cool Python script. Siril's toolbox is getting larger by the day. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down in the comment section. I want to say thanks to all my members here on YouTube and on Buy Me a Coffee. I appreciate all of your support. Thanks to everybody that shares out the videos and gives it a like. It really helps the channel grow. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. If you're not a member, consider becoming a member and you'll get access to my free Siril Beginner's Guide, as well as see your names scroll up at the end of all my videos. Once again, appreciate everybody's time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video, and clear skies.